Hello everybody, welcome to the first video of 2024. I'm sure this video is not all that late for the new year, surely. I swear I have good reasons for this shoot, guys. Now, what do I have planned for this year other than that? So first up, we got to talk about the annual that was supposed to come out last year. So what happened was that I was starting to write the first comic of the annual because there were going to be 3 stories in there. And I started it, and then a couple weeks into it I had to start working on the movie. And working on Clavin cartoons is basically like this. I work on it for 5 days of the week, so Monday to Friday. But when I do comic books, I do it the same way. I do 1 page Monday to Friday. So my idea was, hey, I'll do the animation Monday to Friday and I'll do 5 pages on the weekend. But I don't know if you guys ever had to juggle something of that magnitude, but it saps the life out of you. Working on the movie, I practically worked as soon as I got up and as soon as I went to bed. And so having to work on the weekends, which was supposed to be basically my days off from working on the movie, well, you can imagine how that went. I managed to finish the first comic story, but then there were 2 more to do, and I wanted to have more comic strips and all kinds of other things in the annual, and it just didn't look like it would be released by the end of 2023. But then I realised there isn't a season 4 coming out until 2025, and the only thing that's coming out animated is the movie. And from there, I had a plan. What if I were to cut up these 3 stories into 2-parters like I did with the first magazine run? What if, like the magazine run, I released them sporadically for about different months? Yeah! So I could have a magazine run that lasts about 6 months in total. That could work. But then I had an even bigger brainwave. What if there was a piece of Clavin content that comes out for every season of the year? Okay, first 2-parter. March to April. Spring, the Clavin movie. Comes out in summer. June, July, August, I haven't decided yet. The second Clavin 2-parter comes out in, September, October. That's the autumn Clavin adventure. And finally, to cap off the year, in November and December, we have 1 final Clavin comic. That means you get 1 whole Clavin adventure for each season of the year. It also gives me a whole lot more time. I finished the first 2-parters, but as I'm writing this, I've only just started the second part of the final 2-parter. I hopefully should finish it by the end of January, beginning of February, but you know, we all know how these things go. And of course, that means we'll be getting a return of the audio visual, and that should release the month of the final part of each Clavin magazine story. I'm a little sad I didn't get to make an annual because I've always been quite enthralled with the idea of making one. They always look so cool. But I think this is a good payoff. I think this is going to work out more in the long run, and it gives you more Clavin content when there isn't so much this year. So other than the comics, Clavin related, it seems that the only other thing I have going is the movie. And I'd like to talk about that for a minute. You know, I've been waiting for so long to talk about the Clavin movie because it was so under wraps and I really wanted it to be a surprise. And you know, last video I didn't really even talk about it that much, I just kind of mentioned it in passing. But I really do want to talk about it because I spent a lot of hard work on this one and it's definitely one of the best things I've ever made. Of course, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll have to be brief, I'm afraid. It's about 80 minutes long. There are definitely a lot of action and fighting scenes in it. The gang go to all kinds of places in this feature, and I hope that you'll agree that the animation has taken a slight step up this time. I mean, aesthetically, it looks a whole lot better. It's the first production I made animating with a graphics tablet instead of like a mouse, and it's the first time I've made an animation on my laptop. And I think it's quite interesting that I can say, hey, I made a movie on this laptop. As I said, I'm sort of undecided when it will come out, but I know that there will be definitely some more teasers and some more trailers, and so hopefully by then I should nail it down to a fine science. Other than the movie and the comics, what else have I got planned for this year? Well, I mean, I could still make behind the scenes videos of how I made seasons 1, 2 and 3, maybe even the comics, you know, stuff like that. I might make videos talking about my inspirations and talking about the impact they might have had on me. That sounds like something that would be worth digging into. And heck, now that I've had my face reveal, I don't think anything is off the cards at this point. I mean, I have plans for short films and stuff like that. But other than that, I think that's about all my plans for this year. I must note, however, that by the time I'm recording this, I'm just about to start the 2nd semester of my final year. So if the videos start getting a little lackluster, you can blame the education system. I'm working very hard on my dissertation at the same time. But other than that, that's the game plan for 2024. Comic books, a movie, couple teasers, couple trailers, some scattered video essays, maybe even another from the archives. But that's about it. I hope you enjoy what I have in store for this year. Until next time, gang.